They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and no one better exemplifies this than Charlie and her dumbass. Today I'm going to attempt to do a quick science crimes on Hazbin Hotel. A science crimes light, if you will. Because I'm not gonna lie, it was a challenge to try to do a full episode of Science Crimes on Hazbin Hotel. I couldn't figure out for the life of me how I was gonna apply real world science facts to a show that's almost entirely fantastical and runs on magic and demons and shit. I have no idea how demon physiology is supposed to work, but whatever. I'll try my best. I'll just talk about it and hopefully I'll just sprinkle some science in there somewhere. So anyway, I'm Sevi and welcome to Science Crimes Light, where I like to force a little science down the throats of shows and series that aren't even meant to be scientifically accurate in the first place. I'm Sevi and I said that already. Spoiler warning. I'm going to be making references to season 2, so if you haven't seen it yet, here's your warning. No detective intro today because ain't nobody got time for that. I'll just put on the detective hat and here's your ornamental magnifying glass. Let's investigate some crimes against science. I'm gonna put this away now. From the looks of it, there are a lot of people who are very annoyed by Charlie this season, including myself. Charlie, against all better judgment and all opposition by smart people, decides she needs to enlist the help of the media overlord to help spread her messages. The same one that's been crapping all over her hotel all this time. I know Vox owns pretty much everything, but I'm sure that there are alternative ways to get a message across. I mean, isn't she a public figure with some influence in her own right? Isn't there like a Hell Royal Family website or YouTube, much like the British monarchy has? Isn't there another well-known way to broadcast a message throughout hell? Well, gosh golly, could you imagine if one of your employees was some sort of fucking radio creature? Wouldn't that be the tits? Scientific observation number 1, Charlie is a nut. So in episode 1, we have a new mainstay to the hotel, Baxter, a self-proclaimed mad scientist. That's my boy. New drinking game. Take a shot every time I say bioluminescent lure. Baxter's design is based on an anglerfish, I think. That's what it looks like anyway. And as I recall, Baxter being male and also being based on an anglerfish, something's a little bit off there because I think the bioluminescent lure is exclusive to the females. I think it's only the females that look as terrifying as they do and have the... Why do I keep doing this? The purpose of the bioluminescent lure is to find prey, which begs the question, why do female anglerfish have a bioluminescent lure and male anglerfish don't? Because the lure, as it is aptly named, supposed to be a lure. It's supposed to help them find prey, but male anglerfish do not have a lure. Why? As a matter of fact, I don't think I even looked that up. That was just a question that just happened. So let me look it up and see why. I wonder, because they have to use the lure to catch prey, I was starting to wonder, don't males have to eat? But do they only exist for reproductive purposes? Hold on. Why don't male anglerfish have bioluminescent lures? Male anglerfish lack bioluminescent lures because they do not use the lure for hunting. No shit. Instead, their primary life goal is to locate a female for reproduction. Called it the lure, Esca, is an evolutionary adaptation used by the female to attract prey in the vast, food-scarce deep sea environment. Males have a very different survival strategy, different priorities. Females are the primary hunters and need the lure to ensure they get enough nutrition to survive and produce eggs. Males, in most deep sea species, are tiny and unable to hunt effectively on their own, quickly starving if they do not find a female. You useless little shits. Specialized senses. Rather than developing a lure, males evolved large, powerful nostrils to sniff out the species-specific chemical attractants, or pheromones, released by females. They also have large eyes, which may help in the final stage of identification, sometimes by the female's lure pattern. Reproductive strategy. Once a male finds a female, he attaches to her and, in many species, fuses his body to hers, becoming a permanent sperm bank. He receives all his nutrition from her bloodstream and no longer needs a mouth, a digestive system, or eyes. Science is fun! Alright, so with that said, so yes, they do pretty much purely exist for reproductive purposes. Their sole purpose in life is to nut. Many of the sinners have an appearance that reflect either how they died or how they lived in life or something like that, right? If a sinner's appearance can be influenced by how they died, if Alastor's appearance is as a result of him being mistaken as a deer and shot as a result, Vox has a TV head because a random suspended TV just dropped and fell on his head. If that's the case, then why is Husk a cat demon thing? Did he die from getting too much pussy? New scientific theory! The more I think about it, the more feasible this actually sounds. Probably had a heart attack during sexy time, who knows? I would not be surprised. So anyway, we finally get to see human Vox, Vincent. So Vox has been a god tier villain this season. See what I did there? And it is revealed that he had something called heterochromia, when the eyes are two different colors, which can be caused by either genetics or it can be acquired later in life due to injury, illnesses, or certain medications. There are different types of heterochromia, such as central heterochromia, in which the pigment around the edge of the iris is a distinctly different color than the rest of the iris. And then you have sectoral or segmental heterochromia, in which there's more than one distinct color present in a single iris. Oh crap, the accent is trying to come out. Iris, not hyris. And then we also have complete heterochromia, in which one iris is an entirely different color than the other, which is what Vox has. So anyway, in his song, Brighter, that's what it is. In his song, Brighter, you can see that as he's giving a rousing speech, there are televisions suspended above him, precariously hanging by cables. If you look pretty closely, you can see that he's standing in a pool of water, and I don't know why. There's no real explanation to that, but I also think that the crowd that he is talking to also is standing in that pool of water. Not only did he die that day, I also presume that the crowd, or much of that crowd, also died with him that day too. Which begs the question, did a lot of his followers follow him into hell? And that was actually his jumping point for garnering a following quickly after getting into hell. He can move. Just look at that guy sensei pose. I'm actually surprised that a man from the 1950s is rocking out to dubstep. But then again, he does seem to have a lot of EDM elements in some of his songs. And I do suppose that's where he and Alastor differ in ideologies. While Alastor is steadfast on his preference for radio as the superior form of media, Vox is all about what's shiny and new. He wants to upgrade and upstage. I think that's supposed to illustrate their differences there, even though fundamentally they are very much the same. Actually surprised that he turned out to be a prolific serial killer. I thought they would have done something a little bit different considering that that was Alastor's shtick. Then again, maybe it was a way to illustrate how ostensibly similar they are. No wonder Vox was in love with him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Vox was straight up simping for Alastor. I know there's some people who are still like, oh, he wanted to be partners and friends. I'm pretty sure it was meant to be obvious. I'm the type of person that when other people are watching a series and they pick up on two characters falling in love and they're like, oh, they're falling in love with each other. And I'm like, they are? How do you know? In this case, though, I think it's safe to say that Vox wants to ride Alastor's radio waves.
Am I boring you with my compliments?
Perhaps.
Well, look.
Oh yeah, look at that face. He wanted to ride his nuts into the afterlife. So clearly Vox is obsessed with Alastor.
Overloads, it will blow, taking you, us, and half the pentagram with it.
He's just gonna blow up a whole city. That's the sort of thing that can happen when you just say no to one of these motherfuckers. You don't get to reject a dark triad personality type and emerge unscathed. You just don't. I mean, to be fair, Alastor was a bit of a prick about it. A bit. Moving right along, Alastor is possibly my favorite character, I'm not gonna lie. I really don't know how to science crimes Alastor. Alastor is a crime on his own.
Video. Me and you. We could rule hell.
That little noise of discomfort that Alastor made, I felt that on a visceral level. That's a personal pet peeve of mine. When randos are trying to get a little bit too handsy, I knew this was going to play a part later on. I thought it was so funny that Alastor, knowing exactly how Vox operates, made that deal with Vox, expecting him to get handsy with Charlie. Okay, so let's move on to the Mothman, because I suppose I can talk about some moth facts or whatever. I think one of the reasons Valentino is so captivated by Vox is because he has a bright TV screen as a head and moths gravitate towards light. So instead of flying straight, moths spiral towards the light, as we know. But why do moths gravitate towards light? So the short reason for this is that moths get confused. Their navigation system breaks when they see artificial light. Moths evolved to use the moon as a navigation point, and they keep the moon in a constant angle in order to fly in a straight line. So artificial lights like street lamps, flames, and TV confuse their system because the moths are trying to correct themselves constantly. So instead of flying straight, the moth spirals right into the light, much like Valentino spiraling towards Vox. Maybe Val isn't actually attracted to Vox. Maybe he's just confused.
Anyone else got shit to say? I'm from fucking Florida! Ow! Fucking dick!
You know Valentino was running OBT back in the day. So as many of you already know, when Valentino is upset, he squeaks like a real moth.
Bitch, Chalky or Chandler, or I don't know, something mannish like that. This whole fucking family. Box? Box!
Not just any moth though. This behavior is seen in the death's head hawk moth specifically. They make this sound when it's alarmed by forcing air through its pharynx to confuse predators in an attempt to defend itself, or when it's raiding beehives. Sir Pentious. One of the most delightful reveals of the season for me was Sir Pentious's the human form of Sir Pentious.
Damn, Poppy.
I'm just letting you know, human Sir Pentious is my type. So at one point, Angel Bomb claims that Angel Bomb, did I just say Angel Bomb? Did I just say Angel Bomb? Angel Dust, Angel Bomb and Cherry Dust. So at one point, Angel Dust tells Cherry he overheard that Sir Pentious has 2 dicks.
Oh, you could totally tap that.
Don't be gross.
Guys, you know, I hear he's got 2 dicks.
Huh.
Absolutely, Cherry. Every hole is a goal. Don't know where he's getting that intel from, but in the case of snakes, that is actually accurate. So male snakes have 2 hemipenes. Snakes do not use them at once. They alternate the dicks. Sir Pentious may very well have 2 dicks. Got a little science inventor guy out there that looks like Sir Pentious? Bring him to me. I'm not talking about the 2 dicks now. Just to clarify, I'm talking about his human design. All right, moving on. At first I was a little bit confused about the existence of Fat Nuggets being a pig in hell, just a random pig in hell. I was really wondering what sort of debauchery did this pig get up to when it was alive to end up in hell. But apparently it's, I guess, a hell pig. That's what the Wikipedia says. So I guess I'll have to give it a pass there. So I think I'll just end it here for today. That's a Science Crimes Light, I suppose. Maybe I will do more of these in the future. Maybe I won't, who knows. So with that said, if you have any series that you'd like me to do some science crimes on, feel free to comment down below. Why do people say below? It's like comments above or whatever. Heavenly comments. No, put them in the hell comments. And if you are a winner or even a sinner, there's a nice sexy little subscribe button that you can click right somewhere there. So until, I guess, 2 years from now when they come up with the next season, Feel free to check out other science crimes. All right, I think that's about it.
Vox Tech loves women in STEM.
Why, thank you, Vox. A little bit too close to the edge. I might fall and bust my ass. Let's try that again.